What if I told you that everything in your life, every success, every failure, every delay, every breakthrough, has the potential to work in your favor? Right now, you might feel like life is unpredictable, like no matter how hard you try, things don't always go your way. Maybe you face setbacks, missed opportunities, or moments where you questioned if you're truly on the right path. And if that's you, you're not alone. But here's the truth most people never realize. The difference between those who win in life and those who stay stuck isn't luck, talent, or timing. It's the way they think, the way they respond, and the way they keep moving forward when everything seems to be falling apart. Because there's a hidden power within you, a power that, once activated, can turn obstacles into opportunities, pain into progress, and uncertainty into unstoppable confidence. In this video, you're going to discover how to take control of your mindset, your decisions, and your direction, so that no matter what happens, you can make it work for you, not against you. Stay with me, because by the end of this message, you won't just feel motivated, you'll see your life differently. And once you see it differently, you can never go back. Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all meaningful achievement because it gives direction to your thoughts, energy, and actions. Without a clear and specific aim, the mind tends to wander, becoming distracted by circumstances, opinions, and temporary emotions. When you know exactly what you want, you create a mental target, and your subconscious mind begins to organize your ideas, decisions, and behaviors around that target. This clarity acts like a magnet, attracting opportunities, people, and resources that align with your goal. It eliminates confusion and replaces hesitation with confidence, because every choice you make can now be measured against your purpose. Instead of asking, "What should I do?" you begin to ask, "Does this move me closer to my goal?" And that single shift changes everything. A definite purpose also strengthens your resilience, because when challenges arise, you are less likely to quit or lose direction. You understand why you started, and that reason fuels your persistence. Many people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack a clearly defined aim, causing them to drift from one idea to another without fully committing to anything. A definite purpose requires more than a vague desire. It demands precision, emotional connection, and commitment. You must be able to see it in your mind, feel it in your heart, and believe in it with certainty. The clearer your vision, the stronger your motivation becomes, and the more disciplined your actions will be. It also sharpens your focus by filtering out distractions that do not serve your objective, allowing you to invest your time and energy where it truly matters. Over time, this consistent alignment between your purpose and your actions builds momentum, and what once seemed distant begins to feel attainable. Your identity begins to shift as well, because you no longer see yourself as someone who is searching, but as someone who is pursuing something specific with intention and direction. This internal clarity influences how others perceive you, often leading them to trust, support, and collaborate with you more readily, because certainty is naturally attractive and inspiring. Mastering your thoughts is one of the most powerful abilities you can develop, because your internal dialogue quietly shapes every aspect of your external reality. The mind is constantly active, producing ideas, interpretations, and assumptions. And if left undirected, it often defaults to fear, doubt, and limitation based on past experiences or external influences. When you begin to consciously take control of your thinking, you interrupt this automatic pattern and replace it with intentional, constructive thoughts that support your goal. Yes, every belief you hold acts like a command to your subconscious mind, which then works tirelessly to bring that belief into your lived experience. If you repeatedly think about failure, rejection, or scarcity, your actions will unconsciously align with those thoughts, causing hesitation, missed opportunities, and self-sabotage. On the other hand, when you consistently focus on growth, possibility, and success, your mind becomes conditioned to seek solutions, recognize opportunities, and take bold action. This is not about ignoring reality, but about choosing the perspective that empowers you rather than weakens you. Thoughts influence emotions, and emotions influence behavior, creating a chain reaction that ultimately determines your results. By becoming aware of this process, you gain the ability to break negative cycles and replace them with patterns that move you forward. This requires discipline, because the mind will often resist change and attempt to return to familiar thinking habits. You must train it daily, just as you would train a muscle, by observing your thoughts, challenging limiting beliefs, and deliberately focusing on what you want rather than what you fear. Over time, this practice strengthens your mental control, making positive and productive thinking more natural and automatic. Your environment also begins to reflect this inner shift, As you start to notice different possibilities, attract different conversations, and respond differently to challenges, instead of reacting emotionally to setbacks, you approach them with clarity and purpose, asking how they can be used to your advantage. This level of control allows you to remain steady in uncertain situations because your mindset is no longer dictated by external events but guided by internal intention. The more consistently you manage your thoughts, the more you realize that your reality is not something that simply happens to you, but something that is gradually shaped by the way you think, moment by moment. Persistence over circumstances is the principle that separates temporary effort from lasting achievement, because it is not the absence of difficulty that determines success, but the refusal to stop moving forward in spite of it. Circumstances are constantly changing and often unpredictable, influenced by external factors beyond your control, yet many people allow these conditions to dictate their level of effort, commitment, and belief. When things become difficult, they slow down, doubt themselves, or abandon their goals entirely, assuming that unfavorable conditions are a signal to quit. Persistence challenges that assumption by shifting your focus away from what is happening around you and placing it firmly on what you are committed to achieving. It requires a mindset that views obstacles not as barriers but as part of the process, something to be worked through rather than avoided. When you persist, you develop the ability to continue taking action even when progress feels slow, results are uncertain, or motivation fades. This consistency builds strength of character, discipline, and confidence because each step forward reinforces your belief that you are capable of overcoming resistance. Over time, persistence creates momentum, and what once seemed difficult begins to feel manageable simply because you refuse to stop. It also sharpens your ability to adapt, because staying committed forces you to find new strategies, learn from mistakes, and adjust your approach until you find what works. Rather than being controlled by circumstances, you begin to influence them through your actions and decisions. Many breakthroughs occur not because someone found an easier path, but because they stayed on the path longer than others were willing to. Persistence turns effort into progress and progress into results, even when those results are not immediately visible. It teaches patience while maintaining forward movement, allowing you to endure discomfort without losing direction. As you continue, you begin to realize that most limitations are temporary, and that the true barrier is often the point at which people decide to give up. By choosing to persist, you move beyond that point, placing yourself in a position where opportunities can emerge and results can finally take shape, driven not by perfect conditions, but by your steady and determined effort. Faith and belief in yourself form the internal foundation upon which all meaningful achievement is built. Because without a deep sense of certainty in your own ability, every effort becomes fragile and easily shaken by doubt or external opinion. This kind of belief is not based on current results or past success alone, but on a deliberate decision to trust your potential even when there is little evidence to support it. It begins as a quiet inner conviction that you are capable of more than your present circumstances suggest, and it grows stronger each time you choose to act in alignment with that conviction. When you truly believe in yourself, your mind becomes less occupied with fear and more focused on possibility, allowing you to take risks, pursue opportunities, and push beyond comfort zones that would otherwise hold you back. Doubt, on the other hand, creates hesitation, and hesitation weakens action, often preventing you from even trying, which reinforces the false belief that you are not capable. By cultivating faith in yourself, you interrupt this cycle and replace it with one that builds confidence through action and experience. This belief also influences how you interpret challenges because instead of seeing them as proof of your limitations, you begin to view them as temporary tests that you have the ability to overcome. It changes your internal dialogue, replacing negative self-talk with encouraging and empowering thoughts that support your growth. Over time, this consistent reinforcement shapes your identity, causing you to see yourself as someone who can handle difficulty, learn quickly, and improve continuously. Others often respond to this confidence as well, offering more trust, respect, and opportunities because belief is naturally communicated through your posture, tone, and decisions. However, this level of faith requires intentional development, as it must be practiced daily through affirming thoughts, visualization, and disciplined action, especially during moments of uncertainty. It is strengthened not when things are easy, but when you choose to keep believing despite setbacks, criticism, or slow progress. As this belief deepens, it becomes less dependent on external validation and more rooted in your own understanding of who you are and what you can become, allowing you to move forward with clarity and determination even when the outcome is not yet visible. Turning failure into opportunity is a mindset that transforms setbacks from discouraging endpoints into valuable stepping stones for growth and progress. Most people naturally associate failure with loss, embarrassment, or defeat, which causes them to avoid risks or give up too quickly when things do not go as planned. However, failure itself is not the true problem. The way it is interpreted determines its impact. When you begin to see failure as feedback rather than finality, your entire approach to challenges changes. Every unsuccessful attempt carries information, revealing what does not work, what needs improvement, and where adjustments must be made. This perspective allows you to extract lessons instead of absorbing discouragement, making each setback a source of insight rather than a reason to stop. It also reduces fear, because failure is no longer something to be avoided at all costs, but something to be expected and used as part of the process. As a result, you become more willing to take action, experiment, and push beyond your comfort zone, knowing that even if the outcome is not ideal, it will still contribute to your progress. This approach builds resilience, as you learn to recover quickly from disappointments and maintain your focus on long-term goals. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, you begin to ask constructive questions that lead to improvement, such as how you can do better next time or what new strategy you can apply. Over time, these small adjustments accumulate, leading to significant growth and eventual success. Many achievements that appear sudden or effortless are actually the result of numerous unseen failures that were analyzed and refined along the way. By embracing this process, you develop patience and persistence, understanding that mastery is built through repeated effort and continuous learning. This mindset also strengthens your confidence, because each time you overcome a setback, you prove to yourself that you are capable of adapting and moving forward. Rather than allowing failure to define your limits, you use it to expand them, turning what once seemed like obstacles into opportunities for development and advancement. Action backed by desire is the force that transforms intention into tangible results, because desire alone, no matter how strong, remains powerless without consistent and purposeful execution. Many people experience moments of inspiration where they feel deeply motivated to change their lives, achieve a goal, or pursue a dream. But that energy often fades because it is not converted into disciplined action. True desire is not passive. It creates a sense of urgency that demands movement, pushing you to take steps even when conditions are not perfect. When desire is genuine, it fuels your willingness to act repeatedly, not just once or twice, but every day, regardless of how you feel. This combination of emotional intensity and physical effort creates momentum, and momentum is what carries you through the inevitable challenges and periods of low motivation. Without action, desire can quickly turn into frustration, because you become aware of what you want but remain stuck in the same place, creating a gap between your vision and your reality. Closing that gap requires deliberate effort, where each action, no matter how small, contributes to progress. These actions do not need to be perfect, but they must be consistent, because consistency compounds over time, turning small efforts into significant outcomes. As you continue to act, your confidence grows, not from thinking about success, but from experiencing progress firsthand. This reinforces your desire, creating a cycle where action strengthens belief and belief fuels further action. It also sharpens your clarity, because through action you discover what works, what does not, and how to improve your approach. Waiting for the perfect moment often leads to inaction, while taking imperfect action creates opportunities and learning experiences that would otherwise never appear. This principle also builds discipline, teaching you to move forward even when emotions fluctuate or external circumstances are uncertain. Over time, this steady alignment between what you want and what you do reshapes your habits, your identity, and your results, turning desire from a fleeting feeling into a driving force that consistently produces real and measurable progress. In conclusion, everything working out for you is not a matter of chance, but a result of how you think, what you believe, and what you consistently do. When you develop a clear purpose, you give your life direction. When you master your thoughts, you take control of your reality. When you persist through challenges, you rise above circumstances instead of being controlled by them. When you build unshakable belief in yourself, you unlock the courage to move forward without fear. When you turn failure into opportunity, you ensure that nothing is ever wasted. And when you combine strong desire with consistent action, you create unstoppable momentum that leads to success. These principles, when practiced daily, begin to align your inner world with your outer results, gradually shaping a life where opportunities appear, growth becomes constant, and success becomes inevitable. Thank you for taking the time to listen, reflect, and invest in your growth. May you move forward with clarity, confidence, and determination, and may everything you work toward begin to unfold in your favor. Wishing you the very best of luck on your journey ahead.